Ben Sasse, he's been speaking out quite a bit, but Ben Sasse also had this tweet that, let me throw it up. Random quote as we're loading four-wheelers. You gotta love Ben Sasse. Hey, Uncle Ben, did you know the president used to be a professional wrestler? David, if that's the takeaway, is that Trump winning or losing here?
Well, I think that Trump thinks he's winning because he looks at this different than a typical politician. Look, I think one day when we look back on the Trump presidency and we play a word game and say, you know, what one sentence, what one word defines Trump's presidency, we can look back on this weekend and go, I'm president and you're not. And I think for Trump, so much of this is about driving his personal brand, and the fact that he's never really internalized the fact or functioned as the fact that he's no longer leader of the Trump organization, but he's now representing the United States. And so I think, you know, for him, the only issue becomes if there's ever any electoral consequence, because he is somebody that understands politics and understands winning and losing. And one of the reasons he's able to do this right now, Kate, is because there is no blowback from Republican voters. A lot of focus has been on Republican lawmakers and why isn't there more criticism and why don't they, you know, disown him or chastise him. But the truth is, Republicans on the Hill are most in touch with voters. They're the ones that have an election sooner, and they don't have many of their voters telling them to do anything about it. And in my conversations with Republican voters in the past month, they have said they don't like his Twitter habit, which we've seen in the polls. They've said they don't like his behavior, which we've seen in the polls. And then they've told me, but I'm still supporting him anyway, and I don't regret my vote. And so as long as this is the atmosphere in which the president is operating, he will assume, like many presidents before him, that whatever he is doing is working and things will continue as they are. Now, I will say this. He tends to go from moments like this and days like this to a conventional few days or weeks where he seems like a normal president, actually gets some things accomplished, and then he will revert back to pattern. So as Chris said, nothing will change, but I do think we may see a few weeks or a few days in between these episodes from now until the day that he is no longer president, whether that's 3 years, 3.5 years, or 8 years.
You are a risk-taking kind of guy. Look at you making predictions in the Trump era. That is a risky bet. Great to see you guys. Thanks so much. Thanks for being here.